Okay, so back in Maya, haven't worked on this in a week or so. Built hands and fingers last time we checked, and need to make them girthier. If I go ahead and smooth them, they're just skeleton. So did some research on that one. Let's go ahead and do that. Right, fine. And the way to do that will be to go to face mode and select everything. And basically the easiest thing to do is Control E, which is extrude. But you want to keep your faces together so that you can just pull them out, and they will based on the normals. And that works real well. It's about as expected. So let's do this real quick and kind of make note of the number. 0.25 just to make it clean. Or actually, let's go ahead and do 0.23. But typing it in, hopefully I remember, so that way I can chunk up each finger. Each one may be a little different. I mean, you may take knuckles a little further so that they have a little bit more of a boniness approach to it. Let's go to object mode, 2. It's better. Probably even take it further. What I gotta do is do the rest of the hand and make sure that it matches and doesn't overcrowd or anything. Otherwise it'll just be messy, but definitely heading that direction. So I'll put that on my to-do list. I've got the thumb looking pretty sharp in terms of thumbness. I'm gonna shape the palm a little better. What I'm doing now is separating all my parts so that I can get the unwraps. And learning how to detach objects is a real interesting process in Maya. So let's do that real quick. So somewhere I have an object that's detached. No, I don't. So let's go ahead and break off the back from the torso, even though I'm probably going to have to re-weld it and all that stuff. I'm not too worried about it. What we're going to do is go to edge mode. This seems to be the most logical sense if you think about it in terms of unwrapping, and you create seams. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, when we get to unwrapping and cutting seams, you will understand what I'm talking about. I hope. If not, we'll go over it until you do. So I've got basically a big chunk of like what would be considered like the back piece or the back armor. So what I'm going to do from here is go ahead and go to the edit mesh tools. I'd like to have this one in particular open. I wish I could dock it. I gotta figure this stuff out. It does come up when I hold shift and right click, but I just like having it up here so I can look at it without having any stress. But what we want to do here is that we're going to hit detach. And you can see how the smoothing group created a seam because that's the end of the smoothing group on both sides. That's still not the case, and that's still not detached as an object. It's still one object, which is just silly. After that, you got to go to, what was it, mesh tools? Or mesh, yeah. No, mesh display? No, mesh tools. See, it's just, you got to do 2 steps to break a piece off. Where's the mesh? Yeah, go to mesh. So you edit mesh and you detach when you have your edge or vert selection. And then you go to mesh and then you hit separate. And I get the idea because it does kind of match the idea of combine. So let's attach, detach, but now it's a separate object. I can hit the UVs all by itself. It's going to be a lot easier to attack. And on the same note, what I can do here, I'm actually going to freeze these and I'm going to build off of this loop here. I think I have 10 edges here. I have 10 here. I have like 9 here and I have like 12 here. So I got to kind of rebuild this off of the 10 edge loops and see if I can just conform it to the body real quickly. That way arms, legs, and neck will all have the same kind of geometry count and it'll be nice and clean, easy transition to each piece, and have edge loops everywhere, and it'll be nice and clean. So let me get started on shaping on the body, and let's go over UVs. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so something weird happened when I was playing with UVs in the arm. I don't understand it, but Maya does weird things. All of these softwares do. I'm going to be honest, but man, it really frustrated me. Let's see if it's still there. I'll go to UV, go to UV editor. Here's my UV editor, just like the unwrap. I didn't mean to scene that up, but these boogers, okay, these are supposed to be. So let's go to face, grab those and move those over here. I need to unseam this guy. We can go over that. That's a good mistake to fix. So let's double click on that and see where that's at in 3D space. Minimize and just kind of drop that there. So I accidentally hit S-E-W. So what we're going to do is go see if we can hit cut and split that, I hope. Go to face. I'm going to grab all of these faces, and I'm going to see if I can just do it. I'm going to redo the whole thing. What I've found to be successful, so I'll hit automatic at this stage. And this will kind of break everything down into an area I can see everything. And it's all in proportions. This is as close to flattened mapping as I have seen in 3ds Max. I still haven't figured out how to actually just break things, but I have learned how to actually sew things. So I'm going to kind of play around with that and put this arm together and put the seam down on the bottom part of the arm. This is the actual where I want the seam, so I need to break this piece up. So this right here, what I can do here, if I right click, go to cut sew, I'm going to hit cut, and that should break it. If not, I'll go ahead and click on it, and it maybe break it for me now. I have to learn this stuff. Yeah, no, it's broken, I believe. So I go to face, yeah. So now there's my seam. So what I want to do is build off of that. I want it to be on the bottom side because I'm not going to really have my troll lift above his arms too much. It will still be visible more on the top side. And back and front side, so that would be the least visible plan on it. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll seam that up. So the best way to do this is go ahead and kind of separate and organize the polygons in proper order. Control shift to add to your selection. So this little hanger right there, it's an obvious tell of where that one goes. So what I can do here, and I'll do this real quick so you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and grab the edges. And see, it's grabbing both. It's like as if like in 3ds Max or in a 3D scene, I'm grabbing the seams, both seams. Because they're welded in 3D space, I can grab them together in the texture space. And so from here, let's go ahead and grab those. I'm going to get them all, and then I'm just going to hit sew. It's not going to keep the proportions down by the wrist or some other areas, but I can fix that. Hit sew. Boop. Sweet. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that for the rest of this arm. Just kind of do it quickly. I just want to be wary of the seam that I don't want to work on, which is this one. So what I'm going to do is grab the face over here, grab that face. I'm going to place it on the other side of the arm. Kind of help me keep in mind where it sits. I think this one goes, and then this one should be there. So if I go to edge mode, so there's the edge. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do here is go to face. Here's something that's interesting in mind. This is how they have a. This is kind of like where I think Max is actually better. If I go to edge mode, I just have these edges selected. I am moving all the welded edges from the 3D space, and so they're not ever really broken. They're still together. Again, I'm going to just grab this one, and it's not affecting it, but I grab this one, and it's affecting it. So that's peculiar. It's just really weird. So I grab that edge right there. Sew it up. Okay, so there's going to be some compression and expansion and stretching and throughout here, and it'll become more obvious in the arm. So I'll have to be very careful. But it also is a cone. You just can't help it. It's just the way it is. Cones taper, and you can't really get a taper unless you peel it like an orange, and that creates different kinds of seams and lighting issues. So pick your evil. See, that's the thing also. I like how Max moves the entire island with this when you do a stitch selected. So what I got to do here is move this piece a little closer and in position. You can hear my noodles cooking. Quarantine time. Let's cook. All right, let's go to edge again. Edge. And deselect all those. And just stitch that because those are the ones I want, right? Stitch or so. Boop. All right, that's a little bit easier to manage. Repeat that over here. Let's just do that here. Oh, Control. Oh wait, we want to go to face and move this closer though, and rotate it to where the taper is a little more useful. We can do it kind of like we can kind of taper, I guess, and expand out like a funnel. That might work to keep most of the things working in terms of proportions and clean textile strength and all those fancy words you gotta do and stuff for the things. Sew it up. Sweet. All right, so that kind of covers the arm. I'm going to do the same thing for the front and back of the body and the leg. So I'll be back to do those. I'm going to pause for a food break.